He left home at 14 to be on a fishing trawler. If you have not touched it in over a year, you do not need it. It doesn't add anything to your life. Throw it away.
People want to set world records for the weirdest things.
I really wish that people did other things with their free time to benefit others. So why doesn't somebody set a world record on how many people they can help?
Before.
But the coolest kids had TVs in their bedrooms. That was just a foreign concept to me.
Everybody had to eat at the table or outside. Nintendo is asshole. They sue people for everything all the time.
I would die laughing if you dressed up as the Grinch.
Welcome back to the He's Wrong, She's Right podcast. I'm being louder than usual again, so that maybe we'll keep your attention. Nona hates that. We should have you do the intro sometime.
No, that's okay. I'm good.
Why not? I think it'd be funny if you did the intro. You got to do it with all that exciting pep that you have. Like you're cheering on one of the kids at one of their sporting events. Like that's what keeps people locked in the video. Is that like really loud, exciting?
Sure, when it's a topic that I'm actually excited about. Absolutely.
Okay.
I'd be happy to do that for you.
What topic would that be?
I don't know. One of the 20 plus topics that I have suggested for you.
Okay,
and you
so
have always turned them down.
What are they?
I do not have my notebook in front of me, but I have proposed multiple ideas to you.
Okay, so let's do one. Then you can redo the intro.
Again, I don't have my notebook in front of me.
Do I need to go get it? I'll go get it.
No, you said we're talking about entertainment and something else.
No, I said the options were space tourism or entertainment and gaming.
Right. And then it was narrowed down to entertainment and gaming.
No, you asked me what that meant.
Right.
That wasn't narrowing it down. You just asked me what it meant.
You asked me to pick one of your two topics.
And you didn't. You just said, what does that mean?
That was me picking the best of the worst options.
Okay. All right. Today, we're talking about entertainment and gaming.
Yay.
Yay. No, do you like video games?
No.
Have you ever played video games?
No.
I know you didn't own any, or did you?
No.
Did your dad ever even play games or anything?
No.
Was he more of like a card game kind of guy?
Sure.
Like, did he play like poker or anything, even chess? Like,
honestly, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I already told you the story about my dad. He left home at 14 to be on a fishing trawler.
Right, but I'm saying now...
There were no video games.
No, I know. That's why I said cards. Like, was he...
Yeah, they probably played cards on the boats.
This is what that generation, they like, oh my God. Rummy?
Gin rummy?
Is that what it is?
Possibly.
How many card games do you know how to play other than like...
Dude, I don't fucking know. I haven't played cards since I was a kid.
What games did you like playing?
I don't know. If you said them, I would probably say whether I've played them or not.
So the normal Uno, you don't know how to play spades or euchre, right?
Correct.
What about solitaire?
Yes.
What about hearts? Hearts?
I believe I played that.
Those are both like Windows games for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever play that pinball game that was on Windows, Space Cadet or something like that?
Mm.
I was really good at that.
Okay.
This is obviously before the days of like real internet, so there was no like, ooh, here's my high score. But here's jump right into this, like the competitive stuff with this. I watched this YouTube channel a couple months ago that I saw because of Harley Morenstein from Epic Mealtime. And it was about these guys speed running for like world records. We kind of talked about this in one episode because we were talking about the marketing thing. Like we're the best of the best, but in like all of these qualifiers, that's how like they are. They have like certain rules for certain things. Like from the time you turn it on to the time it ends is one kind of score. Then there's a score where like you could play, but if you die, you only go back here. And then your times are only like every time you beat a stage, like almost like
You've already lost me.
it's kind of like a relay race, but it's not always perfectly consecutive.
Okay.
Like you could start, say, like level 1 of Super Mario, and then like turn it off and come back. Your time stops when you turn it off, and then it starts again when you turn it back on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know any of this either until I watched this whole, I guess, more or less documentary. I don't know if you would call it a documentary, but that's kind of the style it was.
Okay.
But there are people that with like early camcorders and like the janky webcams and things like that and little point and shoot cameras and Polaroids were taking pictures of their high scores, like going all the way back to like the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
And people have this information just stored for forever, basically.
Okay.
And, you know, something will happen in that genre where like a game will become popular again, or people are like, oh, I want to do this now that it's been 10 or 20 years, or whatever, since it came out. And it'll start to gain popularity. And then you'll get these people that'll come out of the woodwork like, oh, I have this thing and it's signed by the creator of Nintendo or whatever. And it's because I was the first one to ever do this. And it's like this really, really weird, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, how many awards from your childhood do you have?
None.
You don't have like your science fair ribbons or anything? Your mom didn't keep any of that kind of stuff?
I threw everything away.
Okay. So you're not like these people at all, other than the fact that you keep all of the kids' stuff.
No, I do not keep all of the kids' stuff. I have one box for each of the children.
And what is in it?
Just some artwork from when they were in preschool, and once the box was filled, then it's filled and the rest gets thrown away.
So they're only going to have stuff from preschool for the rest of their lives?
Yeah, I have literally nothing from my entire life because I threw it all away, and I keep telling my mom every time she tries to give me something, please throw it away.
Okay.
That's why every single time you have moved from a house, I've said, please throw it away. It does not need to move with you. If you have not touched it in over a year, you do not need it. It doesn't add anything to your life. Throw it away.
So we can say that kind of stuff about all the stuff in the garage on those shelves.
Minus one box for each of the children.
All the art stuff and all that stuff that's out there?
Again, that's one box for each of the children.
I'm talking about all the other stuff. There's one box for each of the children, but there's many other boxes out there.
I have an arts and crafts box that gets used every time the children have a school project. It gets pulled out so that they can use anything from it. And then obviously if we have to go to the store and supplement from that box, I used to have an entire craft room.
Okay.
So I downsized entire craft room into one box.
Okay. I bet they have competitive crafting.
I'm sure they do.
Would you do that if that was a thing?
No. Why would I do that?
I'm trying to think of what. Okay, I looked at those machines that we'll come back to the gaming stuff in a second. I looked at those machines that you were talking about that you can make like the stickers with and stuff.
A silhouette.
How does that actually work? Like from one of the things I saw
Computer software.
No. What does it actually do? Is it only cut things? Does it actually print things?
No, it doesn't print.
So how do you get, if you say I wanted to make a sticker of our logo, how do I do that? I can cut the shape, but nothing else.
Yeah.
How do you get the color?
You buy the vinyl. I don't understand what you're not understanding.
Walk me through the steps.
Okay.
Step 1 through, I have a completed sticker of our logo.
So say you have the logo, you put that on the software. You either would have a 12 by 24 mat or a 12 by 12 mat. So how big is this logo, hypothetically?
I don't know. Just like a
Okay, so you'd use a 12 by 12
sticker.
mat. Then you format it on your software. I'm looking at your computer as if I was doing it. You turn on the machine. You pick out what color. Say you want bubblegum pink. So you get your bubblegum pink adhesive vinyl. You put it on your mat. You're turning on your machine. You put your blade in, and then it cuts it all out, and then you pull it back out, and you slowly pick away at the sticker, and now you've got a logo sticker. It's very easy. It takes like 5 seconds start to finish.
How do you do it with all of the colors, though? All of the colors, like to make it actually look like our exact logo?
You would not be able to. You would choose one color. You could possibly overlay a second on top of that one, and that would be time consuming, and you would see the layers.
It's not as useful as I thought it would be.
I don't know what you have in your head, so.
Like actually making stuff like this. Like I thought that was possible with something like that.
No.
That sucks. Oh well.
Okay.
So going back to
I haven't used a machine like that in 5 years since I had a craft room.
How do you do people that do the t-shirts and stuff at home? Don't they use that same kind of machine? How do they get multiple colors?
Layers. Heat press.
But those are the ones that like wash off really fast though, right?
Yeah. Those are heat press machines. And then as soon as you put them through the dryer, then they're all janky and yeah. Because the same heat that's putting it on, the same heat will take it back off.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can do like because there's something for everything. But I think it'd be really funny to have like full on like craft, like a like one of those cooking shows where they have like all the different stations and you do like your whole meal and stuff like that. But it's like you're designing something, cutting it out, putting it all together.
A craft off?
Sure.
Okay. What about it?
Just, I don't know. I think I was trying to figure out something more relatable to you since you don't like games or anything like that.
Okay. I don't know how that would be relatable to me. Again, I haven't had a craft room in 5 years. Like I don't.
What if
I don't?
If you
It's
had
not
to,
relatable at all.
if you had to pick something to be competitive in, what would it be?
Going to sleep.
So you want to set the world record?
I'm just like, what kind of bullshit question is that? I'm not a competitive person.
I mean, you kind of are.
Okay. Being good at my job, trying to be a good mom.
No, you want to
Like, I don't, those are all normal aspirations.
You want to win chili cook-offs. You could do like a bake sale competition. That would be cool. No? No competitive baking competition?
Okay.
No?
No.
Okay. Well, anyways. So the whole gaming and entertainment industry in general, they come up with weird and what they'll call them like creative and innovative ways to compete against each other.
Okay.
There was a guy that set a record for binge watching all of the Marvel movies at like 50 or not 50 because that's slower, at like 101.5 times speed or whatever. And he had a number.
What would the word sound like coming out that fast?
1.5 isn't crazy different. It's like maybe it's 1.25. That's not really crazy. Just sounds like you going from talking normal to talking normal, but a little bit faster. But I like maybe 1.5.
You on Adderall?
Sure. 1.5 and up is more like the tone also changes because you're compressing the waves. You start getting like that chipmunky type sound that makes Cash and Charlotte laugh their asses
terrible.
off. But he did that, and he had to have a camera that had eye tracking pointed at his eyes, and
to prove that he wasn't sleeping with his eyes open.
It counted how many times he blinked. That was the record he was going for the fewest number of blinks while binge watching the entire Marvel, just the movies, I believe. I don't think the TV shows were included.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. What a waste of time.
People want to set world records for the weirdest things. And so the Guinness Book of World Records has, if you submit something, you're like, say it doesn't exist yet, right? Like there's a brand new category that you just created.
Okay.
You have to also send them the outline of everything. Like, I'm going to do this, this, and this for this amount of time or for this number of iterations, whatever the case may be. And it has to be something that both stands out and is likely to not be overtaken. It's like, I can't say, hey, I'm going to be the fastest person to eat a bowl of microwave Kraft mac and cheese. Just a single bowl. That's like, no. How long does it take you to eat 100 of them? Could be a record. No.
I really wish that people did other things with their free time to benefit others. So why doesn't somebody set a world record on how many people they can help?
What do you define as helping?
Literally anything besides these nonsense world records.
It helps somebody, though. It depends on
It helped nobody.
It depends on how you do it. It helps somebody keep their job. And that helps them feed their family. And that helps their family go to school.
Eating 100 bowls of Kraft mac and cheese, keeping their job.
Because then somebody from Guinness has to come out there and observe you, and they have to write up the record, and they get paid for that. And then they publish it in their little book, and it goes online and on social media.
So essentially keeping Guinness Book of World Records relevant?
No, I'm saying it doesn't always have to be through charity that you help people. Just like somebody coming to you for an insurance quote helps you and the family because you make money from it. So that's why I asked how you define help, because that matters in this context. Us not going to war with anybody helps all of us. Us having the ability to go to the grocery store and them have food there helps us. So how do you define how you would set the world record for helping? Does it have to be specifically philanthropic work where you're like volunteering your labor or your skill?
No, it's assisting somebody else to better their lives.
Through financial, physical?
That was my description and my parameters. So that could be a vast majority of things.
So the truck driver delivering food to the grocery store.
Sure.
Okay. There's probably an argument to be made for what the defining line would be, but that's what I'm trying to get at right now.
Okay.
Okay. Did you ever have a game that you wished you could have played when you were a kid? Was there something that everybody else was doing that you were like, I wish I had that, but I know I never will, or I can't get it? Or
Everybody had Game Boys.
Right.
Those were really cool to look at from a distance. Everybody had like Nintendo 64. Am I saying that right?
I think that was you. I might have just been in middle school, so you would have been 4th or 5th grade, something like that. So there was the Super Nintendo came out roughly early elementary school for us. And then this N64.
But the coolest kids had TVs in their bedrooms. That was just a foreign concept to me.
But how many of those kids do you know also had in like an additional room other than the living room that would have had a TV too? Like an office, or you don't have basements here, but like, was there another place other than their bedroom to put it if they had more than one TV in their house?
A lot of people had dens and living rooms, and both had TVs.
And then in addition to that, the kid had a TV? Interesting. Because we had
Only the coolest kids, obviously.
we had a couple of TVs, but they were all, so we had that room when you went to my mom's house, that room in the front, that was like the office, that was the computer room, as you know, everybody used to call them back in the day. I want to know when I changed from computer room to office. So, I mean, other than the size of the computer, nothing else about those rooms realistically changed.
Right.
So we had that, and then downstairs we had another TV. So we had obviously one in the living room, and we had one of those like big DLP rear projection. They had like
The things that weigh like 500 pounds.
oh, it had probably more than 500. It had its own built-in wheels and everything.
Oh my God.
Because it had the base was like the speakers were built into the base, and then it was like on top of that, and it was like the big. So it wasn't a CRT. It was
You're just, saying random letters to me.
a CRT is the one where you turn it on. It's like the HBO logo where it's like the line and the fuzz. The cathode ray tube TV.
No idea.
Cancer TV. DLP it's a projector. That's what it is. It just projects onto the back of the screen rather than from your room onto the front of the screen.
Okay.
It was super. That was like before plasma became a thing. So it was you had CRT.
What year was this?
I don't know. My parents were still together. So when we were in elementary school.
I don't know. You have changed that timeline a couple of times now, so I don't know.
It doesn't matter what the timeline is. It's before they got divorced.
Right. So give me like a year.
I don't know. It was probably it was close to
95.
Maybe. I don't know. So it's close to the size of the TV that's in our bedroom. But think of it like that size, but then sitting on speakers that came to about the height of this desk. That was all like one thing. There used to be the transition between the living room and the kitchen / dining room, whatever you want to call it, right there as you walk in there.
Okay.
There used to be a half wall there, and my dad took out the half wall because the TV, where that door swings open, the TV had to be canted to be there by the living room or like facing the living room.
Were you guys the family that would eat in front of the TV?
No, we were never allowed to do that.
Interesting. I'm actually surprised by that answer.
No, everybody had to eat at the table or outside. I mean, we did.
Was your TV on during dinner?
Only if there was a sporting event or a NASCAR race or something.
Which is like every single day.
Not back then. Not back then. Especially if you didn't have certain cable packages and stuff. Like you might not be able to watch other than on Saturdays back then, you probably only had Michigan, Notre Dame, Florida, Texas, USC on TV.
Okay.
And depends on who they were playing, where they were playing, if it was even on TV. Because if you had both of them were on because you only had like 3 channels in like ESPN back then. So if you had ABC was playing a game in that network, but ABC was also broadcasting a different game on a different network, you couldn't just watch one or the other like you can these days. So if there was a blackout, more or less, then you can't watch whatever else you wanted to watch. But the races, my dad would have on. So that's only Sundays. That was it. But typically for that, it's like a Sunday or Saturday, probably grilling out, probably out back anyways. Sitting out at the picnic table or swimming in the pool, whatever. Yeah. But we had lots of video games. Lots and lots of video games.
What was your favorite?
We had this one for the Super Nintendo that I beat my first time playing it. So because, natural habit of humans is
because you're a very competitive person.
When you're good at something,
because
you beat
you're
something.
A very competitive person.
Yeah. It's like Run Saber, I think is what it was called.
I've never heard of that.
It was, I don't know. All games back in those days were side scrollers.
What is a side scroller?
Instead of being in 3D space where you're moving forward or side to side with your character, everything is left and right like Mario back in the day. You can only go left to right, up and down. You can't go forward and backwards. So they call it a side scroller.
Gotcha.
And I think that was one of the first early games where you didn't only go left to right. You would go left to right for something, and then you might go back from right to left. Like you drop down like a tunnel and you can go the other way or whatever.
Okay.
It was a fighting game. So we played that. Played like Street Fighter, Tekken, Mario. I don't know, a couple others. But there was no game that you wanted to play?
Probably Mario.
Did
The turtles looked cute.
Did any of your friends have the on their Game Boy? Did they have the little camera in the printer?
I have no idea.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
They made a whole thing that slid in where the game cartridge went into, and it had a camera. And you could take a picture of yourself, and then it had a printer that would attach to it, and you get like a little black.
No, I had no idea.
I'm gonna show you this real quick. Game Boy.
What year did that come out?
I don't know. Game Boy camera.
Did you have one?
Yeah.
Of course you did.
It was released in 1998. And that's the kind of picture that it would take. So I had this little, it looks like a label printer.
It looks like you.
That does not look like me.
If you grew out your hair. Yeah.
No.
Look at your old driver's license picture and then slap some long hair on it.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like that.
For those that have never seen it before, it's that little eye looking thing at the top. And you can see the yellow one down there. So it's just,
I've never seen that before.
Just slid in. And then, so there was a little cable that the same cable, I believe, that you would use.
So is that the OG selfie?
I guess, yeah.
I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah. Because they had a cable that you would use if you were playing Pokemon where you could like trade like your Pokemon.
I didn't even know there was a Pokemon Nintendo game.
That's Nintendo Corporation owns it.
Oh. I didn't know.
They're actually suing there's another one like Pal World or something like that, but they have like guns.
What?
Yeah, apparently Nintendo is suing them for copyright infringement, but it's like to the tune of like $65,000. It's something that's like
oddly specific and small.
Yeah, it's a very, very apparently it's like three different patents or copyrights or something like that they're claiming they infringed on, but it's literally like $65,000. And it's like a formality, slap on the wrist kind of thing.
Gotcha.
And the funniest part was when I read the news about this, Nintendo had actually filed the patents or trademark, whatever the case is. They filed it after the game had come out, and they're trying to retroactively enforce it.
Okay.
Nintendo is asshole. They sue people for everything all the time. Did you ever see those? Did they ever have one of those Mario Kart experience things ever advertised here?
I don't know what that is.
It's basically like go-karting where they would shut down. You know, they do events downtown all the time where it's like a run or whatever. Mm-hmm. So this company wanted to do this Mario Kart experience. So you drive in a go-kart around your city or whatever. They would have the streets shut down.
Okay.
And you'd have little like little buttons on your go-kart. So if you were aiming at somebody, you could throw a shell at them.
I feel like I went to a fair one time when I was like maybe 12, and the person who was getting us into the bumper cars or go-karts or whatever they were, said something weird like, we're not allowed to say it's this, but it's really this.
Yeah.
I just like vaguely remember that as you're saying that.
Who were we? We were, okay, so very similar. So these people, like, I mean, they got sued into bankruptcy, lost everything to the best of my knowledge for it. But we were talking to somebody recently about, I think it was like, was it Dr. Seuss or some, I feel like it was like a Christmas character of some kind where it was
What?
It was a character that people aren't allowed to take pictures with, like officially. Like you can't say it's the Grinch or something like that. The people that do like holiday family photography, but they're like small, like if you and I were to take up photography and just do it for like a couple of people, if you do it for monetary gain, there's something around like calling it the Grinch.
I don't remember this.
Oh. Anyways, very similar. Like apparently was it his Dr. Seuss's
Legacy? I don't know.
Not legacy. What is it called when you...
But the Grinch goes to Carolina Beach every Christmas. They have a Grinch miss every year at Carolina Beach.
Maybe it's licensed.
I don't know. Now that you're saying that, I'm wondering. Chloe and I were there last year when they were all setting up. We were there for dinner, though.
I think the first time that I saw this come up was like an angry photographer, like professional photographer who is mad at like hobbyist photographers for going and buying the costume and be like, you can't do that. You'll get in trouble. Okay. I'm not allowed to do that, so you can't do that. It was like one of those kind of Facebook posts like,
okay,
this is a warning. Don't go to that place that says that you can take a picture with this because they'll get in trouble.
All right. Don't go to Carolina Beach at end of...
It also depends on if they're
beginning of
profiting.
December.
Like if the...
Yeah, I don't know if there were like ticket sales or anything like that.
If I'm putting on a suit...
It might have been provided by the town of Carolina Beach.
If I put on a Grinch costume, which I'm sure I can go buy from like Spirit Halloween...
I would die laughing if you dressed up as the Grinch.
Should I?
If you guys want to see me laugh, tell him to dress up as the Grinch.
Okay. What do you think a Grinch costume costs?
Probably like $50, but for your size, probably like $150.
I want to know.
Type in 3XL Grinch suit.
Grinch suit or costume?
I don't know.
Grinch costume. $38 at Walmart.
For what size?
It just says Grinch green
I
costume.
said 3XL. You need to search 3XL. That's a very specific size. It's going to pull up children's sizes. It's going to pull up... Yeah, that looks like it's for a toddler.
No, but it doesn't look at all...
Again, that's for a toddler, so... You have to be very specific.
It says adult, one size fits most.
One size would not fit Andrew.
Let's see here. Amazon's got...
And also be very specific of for a man over 6 foot. Because otherwise it's going to be not able to even go over your shoulders.
Here's one for $109. Adult Santa Christmas outfit includes mask. Adult 2X and 3X are the same price, $110.99.
There you go.
And it looks like that, which is the like more recent cartoony one, right? The mask itself is.
Yes.
You sounded like Jim Carrey there for a second. The way that you said it.
Okay, I was just answering.
I know. You had the same voice. It was like you were trying to mimic him. I was trying to tell you good job.
Not.
Okay. How do we get off on talking about the Grinch? Oh, Mario Kart. So they were sued into oblivion. Nintendo is notorious for anybody that does anything with their... Did you see they came out with an alarm clock?
No.
It's called
When?
like a week or two ago, maybe 3 weeks ago.
No.
It's an alarm clock that does nothing else
but
play Nintendo songs.
What are Nintendo songs?
Like songs for their games that they are the only ones that have the license for. Like you can't just
like
go
what would like
the Mario theme song, Super Mario, whatever. Dun, 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 dun. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
So is it just to relive your childhood, nostalgia? Like what is it for?
Supposedly it's for kids, and
okay, so it's for adults buying gifts this holiday season to be able to tolerate their own children.
Yeah, I believe it's called the Alarmo.
Sounds terrible.
And is
it $59.95? How much is it?
That's a good question. Alarmo.
Is it the gift that you want this year?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Nintendo Alarmo review. Nagging nostalgia. $100.
Yeah, they overpriced that one, but okay.
Look at it.
You know, parents everywhere are going to be buying it for their children.
That's all it is.
It's really dumb.
Yep. Well, everything is so expensive these days anyways.
Mm-hmm. It's $100 every time I leave the house.
And all kids look at is amount of things. They don't see like the sum of all the parts. They just see like, oh, I got this one nice thing and then I got socks. I got nothing for Christmas. Even if that nice thing is like $3,000. If you were to buy, I'm not saying you, I'm saying if somebody were to buy their kid like a $3,000-$4,000 gift or whatever for Christmas, and then that's like their main gift, and then they get like a bunch of things that they need, clothing, shoes, whatever, knick-knack kind of things. The kid's gonna be like, I didn't get anything for Christmas. You don't agree?
You have very low standards when it comes to children and their graciousness.
I hear them say it and I'm not just talking about the kids here. I'm talking about kids in general. I don't have anything to do. I don't have anything to play with. I don't have anything cool. Meanwhile, they have an entire 2-car stall garage filled with bikes and rollerblades and basketballs and soccer balls and goals and baseball bats and RC planes and boats and cars and electric 4-wheelers and power wheels and video games.
Just to be clear, he's not talking about my children.
I've already said this twice. Yeah, they know. But I'm saying kids, if they're not actively receiving something new all the time, they act like they have nothing. Until you take what they have from them. And then they're like, no, I want that. I need that. Even though they never use it. Did you have something like that when you were a kid? Like something that you cherished that you acted like wasn't anything until it was taken away?
I didn't have anything growing up, so there was nothing to take away.
Okay. What would that thing be now as an adult? Your oven?
Don't take my oven.
That's what I'm asking.
Don't take my vacuum.
Your vacuum was up there with the oven?
Yeah, I can't live in a dirty house.
No.
These are necessities for me.
I'm saying something that you enjoy, though. You don't enjoy cleaning. You enjoy the result of cleaning. You don't enjoy the act of cleaning.
And I clean to enjoy living in the house.
Right. But I'm saying you don't really view the vacuum.
Don't take my washer and dryer. Don't take my kettle away from me so I can have my tea every day. Don't take my fridge so I can keep my food cold. These are all necessities for me.
Okay.
Okay, what would it be for you? Your computer? That's for work and pleasure.
I basically never do anything fun on that thing.
You play games on it sometimes.
Like once every quarter.
Sometimes. So yes, that's why I said it's for work and for pleasure. So taking away your computer would also hinder you from being able to work. So what would it be for you?
Let's see here.
Your TV, obviously.
No, because I can do
Yeah, you could watch it on your phone, right. And then you would be all grumpy of
you
took my fucking TV away from
but
me.
You
I can't watch it too badly.
You can't do the same thing in another appliance that you can in an oven. I can do the same thing on any other screen that I can do on my TV. So,
but you wouldn't be able to blast it as loud.
That's fine. Instead of like one.
Listening to your YouTube every single day, it makes me want to stab my eardrums.
I'm trying to learn our industry.
Okay, but this started well before our podcast. This is not a new thing.
Right, because I'm actively looking at these things. Because
you are a YouTube consumer. You were a consumer first. You're just trying to make your consumption worthwhile.
Exactly.
And validate your addiction.
I'm not addicted.
I don't think you could go 1 week without watching YouTube.
I could if I had actual other
I
things
don't
to do.
think that you could go 1 week without watching YouTube.
If I had other things to do, absolutely could.
So find other things to do. There are plenty of other things to do.
Not at 2 a.m. other than sleeping.
Right. So sleep.
I will when I'm sleepy. What?
I don't know.
What's your okay. Since you're not into let's go back to the gaming stuff. Oh, completely forgot what I was going to throw out what I was getting ready to start asking.
Well, your topic, we haven't
Cooper,
even touched
yeah,
on.
We have. Yeah, we've talked about it enough. If Cooper wanted to get into competitive gaming right now,
you wouldn't allow it. So
it's not true. I'm saying yes or no.
You wouldn't allow it. So it's a moot point.
No, I didn't say that. I'm asking you yes or no. And then I'll throw in some more information and then see if you change your mind.
Okay. He wants to get into competitive gaming. Okay.
Would you say yes or no?
I would ask a couple of questions first. I wouldn't blindly say yes or no. So question number 1, do we have to travel for this?
Yes.
And do we have to pay out of pocket, or is he sponsored?
Both. You're not going to be sponsored right away.
Okay. So then I would need a monetary amount to justify what I am putting in. If it's going to be more than $10,000 per year on travel expenses alone, then at this point in time in my life, I don't know that I could agree to that.
Okay. So he can be a competitive gamer without going same way that I can go outside and put together a football game with the kids. Doesn't mean I'm going to the NFL. It just means I'm going outside to play football.
Okay.
But the time investment is tens of hours a day. That
Okay, so then that's the next question. Yeah. Would you be able to commit to doing this after all of your schoolwork has been finished? And obviously we know that he is in school for several hours throughout the day and then has several hours of homework every night. So is this something that you can truly commit to Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday, but only after your schoolwork has been finished? If the answer is still yes.
How long would you let him play for?
School is 100% the priority.
No. So let's pretend everything's done by 7 p.m. consistently, just giving you a round number. He's gone to school, did his homework, did his chores, 7 p.m. he's done every day.
And then would start gaming?
If you were allowed him to, yes.
Right. Then that's what I was saying was school is obviously the priority. Yeah. So it would not be able to interfere with his sleep schedule. 9:30 is his bedtime. Mm-hmm. So if you can do it between 7 and 9:30 successfully, I would not say no to that.
Okay.
Would you?
Oh.
Is that the vision that I have for him? No, but that wasn't the question. The question is, would I allow it?
Yeah. I mean, the way things are going with some of these, they call them esports.
Okay. They had a club at his school, but it didn't pick up again this year.
I thought they said that they all have to vote on it, all the students.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they had it last year, but it didn't continue this year.
So how would they even do that there anyways? Their computer's locked up. They have to bring in an extra laptop with them every day?
I have no idea. Seriously, no idea. All I remember is them talking about it at parents' night, and we have all these cool.
But that's probably why, because they can't do it on their school computers.
Yeah, I don't know.
And not everybody can afford a good enough laptop to play
so I don't know.
anything.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to think. Yeah. I don't know. But
the answer is always going to be yes. I'm going to make this happen for my child as long as they do what they're supposed to do.
I might tell them, Mom said you could become an e-gamer as long as you're good at it.
And I'm not financially drained only on one child. I have 4 children, so I have to disperse that throughout all 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
One child does not get all of the funds.
Do you get a ROI?
Return on investment?
Yeah. Like, does he have to pay you back before he
No.
makes any money?
No.
Okay.
That didn't even cross my mind.
My parents would 100% have done that. Just like doing a lemonade stand. The kids had to pay you back for the materials. It's how you learn how the world works in business. It's not a punishment. It's you don't have the money to do this yourself. If I don't give you the money.
But I also wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where I would become some sort of momager and
A what?
a momager, a mom manager.
So just call yourself Karen.
I would never want to put myself in a position where I'm a momager and I would therefore negatively impact my children's experience in the world because I would then be financially gaining from them.
You're not gaining. You would only be making back your money.
And in my mind, that is not what my role is as their mom. I'm willing to invest in my child, but there are limitations as to how much I can.
Okay. But if they're going to be profiting off of your investment, and the only way that they could ever profit was from your investment, it is a real world business lesson.
I guess if we were in a situation where it was the next step, he was already at a certain level or whatever, and in order to go to one event, it was going to cost X amount of dollars to get into the event and then X amount of dollars to be at the event, physically transported there, hotel, whatever. If there were to be like a prize of if you even placed in it, not necessarily even first, second, third, whatever, but placed, and you were going to make X amount of dollars. And the idea was, I'm so close. This is my one shot. If I win, I'll pay you back. I guess I would broach that subject if that were the next step and I was in a position where that was the conversation. But at this point in time, I'm sticking to my original answer of I'm not going to be a momager. I'm willing to invest in my children, but only to a certain extent.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say.
So by saying that you would pay their dues, entry fee, whatever, travel expenses, I'm not saying that with one event, they have to pay you back 100% from one event.
Okay, pause. So this is a perfect example. Chloe and Charlotte used to do competitive dance. Okay. I had to pay all of the competitive dance fees, which is the entry to go into the dance. I had to pay for the costumes. I had to pay for the dance lessons. That's a lot of money.
There's also an age, I think, where there should be a shift. Obviously, your child who's
7 years old at the time, is not going to pay you back. Yeah. And they're winning trophies and ribbons, not money. Yeah.
So at some point, it does have to shift. And he is at the age now where he can get a job and he needs to learn how to be financially responsible.
And so that would be the real conversation of what are you going to do to contribute to your aspirations?
Because if I wanted to do something like that when I was a kid, it'd be okay, go get a job, go save the money up and do it yourself. So essentially, by paying it, it should be more considered a loan, or he can go get a job, or some other
both.
means. Yeah. Right?
I'm not disagreeing.
Okay.
But again, I'm not going to be a momager.
Momager.
Is this the first time I've taught you a word?
I didn't know it was a word. Is it a word?
Google it.
How you spell it?
Momager.
Use it in a sentence.
I'm not going to be a momager. I have multiple times.
Well, no, I'm trying to go through the spelling bee.
M
Can you define it?
O
Can you use it in a
M A G E R. Momager.
A momager is a mother who manages her child's career or who successfully balances her roles as a parent and manager. And they have the...
Kris Jenner is probably who's the picture. Spot on. I guessed it correctly. She's the most notorious momager in today's
Who
world.
coined it?
I don't know. I've known it since I was a child, though, so well before Kris Jenner.
I've never heard it until right now. Everybody...
Think about
everybody
every
combines-
Disney star and their mom right behind them profiting from it.
I mean, all of the Disney stars whose
Who
parents
are
abuse them.
now coming out saying, yes, this is the hell that I was through.
Yep.
I'm never going to put myself in that.
That's why YouTubers, for the most part, not all of them, but a lot of them are smart enough to put all of it into a trust and set aside what the kid makes and what their return is. Because obviously they're actually doing it as a job, managing their child. They have to get paid in some way, unless they're rich already and they don't. But most people, to the best of my knowledge, that start some sort of social media venture with their children or any business at all with their children typically aren't always rich. And then you also run into like scumbags, like we've seen stories of, like the people that RV life or whatever. Anyways, anything else? No.
Nope.
Would you play video games today with us?
No.
Why not?
I don't even know how to work the console. Is that how you say it?
Well, it depends. You can play on a computer. That's why, see these, oh, this one doesn't have it. Cooper's keyboard, these keys right here are a different color because they're your arrow keys, but because most people use their mouse with the right hand, they use those keys. You didn't know that? Go look at his keyboard. All right. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the rules for the giveaway, which actually probably potentially ended before this episode came out. But if it didn't, go check the rules. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye.
Bye.